I'm ready.
Guess even kings get scared, huh?
Sequence touchdown.
Nine and done. And you got what?
9-8. That's not crazy.
Swift on Pro Bowl this year. Lock it in.
Zone touchdown, Detroit Lions.
8 flowers for a third round pick.
No.
You're tripping.
The gut punches will stop.
Yo, welcome back to the Last Second Dose. It's your boy Rad out here in Rip City, Portland, Oregon, repping them Detroit Lions. Us versus everybody you already know. But hey, we got a special guest today. Special. And I got that guy, Young Simba, the man, Dose of Dion. What's happening, Dose?
What's going on, Rad? I'm excited. We got a special one today.
A special one.
I'm pumped.
We special. Y'all see him. It's that guy. The best offensive lineman in Detroit Lions history in my lifetime. You know, I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up watching him. You know what I mean? 3-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, Mr. Lomas Downtown Brown, a.k.a. Lobo. Low B. What's happening, Lomas?
I'm good, Rad. How are you today, man? What's up, Dose?
What's going on, Low B? I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. I love talking the offensive lineman. I find so much fun in doing it, especially now. So this is gonna be great. I'm super pumped. I got a lot of questions for you too.
I got like one question.
He's got
Talk
like
to
one
me,
big
Rad.
question.
Talk
He's
to
got
me.
a big one.
Because I want to know.
Wait, Rad. Wait. Should we give him an icebreaker or should we get right into it?
Let's start it with an icebreaker.
Started with an icebreaker.
Started with an icebreaker, I guess.
All right, Low B, we got to hit you with this. Started off simple. Cat or dog?
Oh, dog all the way. Can't stand them cats.
I feel you.
Ooh.
They sneaky.
Thank you, bro. They
Sneaky.
are. Thank you. That's the one thing I don't like about them. They everywhere, you know, and you don't know they there, or you don't know they've been there, but they there. You're right.
They too sneaky for me. I can't tell what they thinking. If I can't tell what you're thinking, I don't want you around me. You know what I mean? I got a question. What's your favorite seasoning when you cook?
Oh, you know, I got a new one now. You ready? Slap your mama. Y'all, I know y'all don't have some slap your mama, haven't you?
No, I ain't had none of that.
What?
That's that
it's
no.
called slap your mama. Man, this is the best seasoning you want to look. If you're going to slap your mama, you know it's better be good. And it's good. And they named it after that. Come on, man. Yeah, you can pick it up at your normal, you know, your Kroger's, your Myers, local markets here. But yeah, it's called slap. Walmart has it. Slap your mama. Get you some slap your mama.
Hey, Reggie, you writing this down? You taking notes, Red? Slap your mom.
Let me grab my handy dandy pen real quick. I need that. Slap your mama. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, we're talking about food, so I got to ask you this one. This might be kind of tough. I'd have to think about this. What's the strangest thing in your fridge right now?
Wow, that's a good one, man. The strangest thing up in there right now. I know I can tell you the oldest thing up in there right now. The strangest thing probably up in there right now. Wow, that's a good one. Something probiotic. I know it's something, man. You know, I got some kombucha, some kombucha up in there. So that's probably the strangest thing I got up in the refrigerator right now. Yeah, some kombucha. Yeah, and that's good. I like kombucha. Yeah, they good, but that's it.
Okay, I
You know,
got
when
one.
you was young, you ain't think about all that. You ain't have to think about probiotics and getting the right amount of, you know, fermentation. You ain't have to think about all that when you was young. I tell you what, you get older, you start thinking about all that type of things like that. So yeah, I got to get my right fermentation. And I have to get the right probiotics in the big fella.
Oh, is that okay?
Okay. I'm just worried about drinking water. I ain't worried about all that extra stuff. Just give me some H2O and I think I'm good. You know what I mean? Take some garlic here and there. I'm good. That's it. I want to know. So when you're getting spiffy, are you a bow tie or a tie guy?
Tie, straight tie. Man, I tried the tie. I tried to do a regular bow. Man, that's the hardest thing in the world to try to tie as a bow tie, man. Now if I could get the clip on, I'm good to go. But I'll do a tie all day long. That bow tie, man, you got to be patient with a bow tie to tie that.
I ain't never tried. I got a clip-on bow tie.
Yeah, man. Get you a real one, man. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get you a real one.
Okay. I might just YouTube how to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a good one. All right, I got one more for you. Because I feel like we're building up towards this. If you could only use one word, and I know this would be tough for you because you're doing all this lying stuff. I mean, you're on the radio. But you only can use one word for the rest of your life. What would it be?
One word for the rest of my life? Probably be why. Why? And I could use it. It goes everywhere. You can use it in a whole bunch of different circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Somebody do you wrong. Why? Just why? Why you did me like that? Why? I just want to know. Why my food ain't taste good? Or why my paycheck ain't this much? You know what I'm saying? It just has so many different barriers. You can use why for everything. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Why is there no slap your mama on this?
I like that.
Exactly.
Hey, I felt like you were really prepared for that question. That was a good answer. Brad, you got another one, or we get into Lions, man?
I got one more. Are you a Ford or Chevy guy?
Man, that's a great one. I've been driving a Chevy the last few months. Man, I'm kind of impressed with the Chevys. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Even though I think the Ford Explorer, I've been in the newer one, and I like the newer Ford Explorer. But I might have to. I'm thinking them Chevys, man. Them Chevys are riding smooth, man. The one I got, the little Trailblazer I got out there, man, that thing is riding real nice right now. So it's treating the big fella real good right now. So I have to lean a little bit towards Chevy right now.
Okay, I got another one. I want to know your favorite comedy movie.
Life. Eddie Murphy.
That's my.
Eddie Murphy and Martin.
And Martin Lawrence.
Man, bruh. That's a classic, bruh. That's a classic right there.
That's my favorite one. I
can watch that 20, 30 times, man. It don't even matter, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I already know. That's
a
room. Hey, that's my favorite. That, and then I followed up with Harlem Nights.
Yeah, Harlem, because you're right. That ain't no joke either. And the cast that they got in Harlem,
all-star.
Red Fox, Della, the cast, Richard Pryor.
Everybody's in that one.
You're right. Yes.
That's all I got for the little rapid round. You know what I'm saying? Little icebreakers. Those, you want to jump it off or you want me to? Because I want to get in the trenches.
Yeah, you got the long question. I think you can pop it off.
Mine is very long.
All right, you know what?
I need to know not a full breakdown, but I need to know some strengths and weaknesses from the left side. We can start from the left side to the right side. I want to know how you feel about every starting offensive lineman we got here.
So
and we can start with Taylor Decker. Just
to put it out there in advance, I think we could have a top 5 offensive line, like we talked about the other day. I started with Taylor Decker, our left tackle, man. I just seen this guy progress since he's been here. You know, this should be year, I think, 6 for him coming up. And I know in my 6th year where I was in my progress, you know, of getting better as a player. And I see him doing the same thing, man. I think he takes great sets. I think he's a very, very good player, and you can run behind him too. Jonah Jackson. He's just taken leaps and bounds since he's got here. I thought he was so much more comfortable at the left guard position this year than he was last year. And that's to be expected because he was a young guy. You know, he's a rookie last year. So you're going to have your ups and downs. But I just think how he's gotten so much comfortable, so much faster. You know, to me, that's impressive. Of course, Frank Ragnar, all-pro. When you say all-pro, that means that he's the best center in the league, period. They only put one on the all-pro team, and he was all-pro, you know, the year before. So, you know, we know that type of center. And like I say, he's the quarterback of the offensive line. He calls all the plays for the old linemen. And then you go to Big V. to me, man, quietly, Big V had the best year out of all the linemen up front. I mean, he was steady. I think he might have had one penalty the whole year. I mean, again, running behind him, they had a lot of success running behind him. And he played well, man. At first, I just thought when they first signed him, I thought it was too much. I didn't think they would get the return on the money. But after this year, man, he had a great, great year. And then you throw in the rookie, the young fella, the young buck, Panay Sewell, man.
Yeah.
Dude is going to be good, man. I'm telling you, man, to see a big fella like him get out in space and cover up on a DB or cover up on a linebacker, that's special. His feet are good enough where he could do that. We already know how versatile he is because he could go from the left side to the right side. So we already know that. And the thing about him and Big V, they got that nasty streak, man. I'm telling you, they nasty on their side right there. So I just think, man, with our line and some of the backups, Evan Brown, who stepped in for Frank Ragnow when Frank got hurt, he played well the rest of the season. Tommy Kramer was solid when he was in there. You know, Matt Nelson was solid when we were running the heavy set of the jumbo formation with bringing the extra linemen in. So I just think that's going to be the strength of our team moving forward, man. And I'm excited. I'm excited about what they can do up front.
Okay, there it is. Y'all heard it from the legend.
Broken down in layman terms. Just broke it straight down.
I love it. Now, real quick, though, I want to know this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you can bring back either Matt Nelson or Evan Brown, which one you bringing back? You know, you can bring back one.
You know what? That's a great point. I'm thinking that that Frank won't get hurt again. I'm hoping and praying that he won't get hurt again. And Matt Nelson, man, he could play different positions for you. I think he can play more positions than Evans can on the O-line. So I'm going to bring Matt back because I just never know if my guard might go down, my tackle might go down. I might have to get him to fill in, even though I'm with you. I think Evan did a great job when he was in there, but normally you don't really have to carry just centers. You know what I'm saying? You just want to carry somebody that can play other positions. And if Matt could play some guard, if Evan could play guard, it would have been Evan. But I know Matt could play more than one position on the O-line.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, we saw Jonah play some center in there. That impressed me big time when Jonah went to center. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's right. Jonah, you can move Jonah over there at center if something happened to Frank.
Matt Nelson?
Hey, we gonna get to Matt Nelson.
I know, man. I know. Hey, look, I know. And that was one of my big things was the depth that we was going to have behind our starters. But when he got in there, he did all right. He did. He really did. Now, over the whole season, but think about it, he was doing spot action, so it wasn't like he was a starter. I think he started a couple of games, maybe a game or two, but that's what I'm saying. The defense doesn't get a chance to build a book up on you yet. You know, when you in there, when you're not a consistent starter, when you're doing spot action, it's hard for the defense to zero in on you. Now, when you're a full-time starter, man, that's when defenses zero in on you and they find your weaknesses and they try to exploit them. He just hadn't been in there long enough for that to happen to him. So, you know, in the role that he played, yeah, I can handle that. I can handle it.
Okay,
I had to give a shout, man. We got a lot of love in here. He said Lomas dropping some serious knowledge.
There it is.
The movie
there it is.
Love it.
Appreciate it, man. Shout out to the chat. They're popping, man. They're
talk.
Going crazy right now. My man Steven says, "What up, Lomas? This homeboy Steve from the YMCA. Me
That's
and you
my
used
guy.
to work out in Auburn Hills.
That's where I used to work out at, man. Hey, look, I'm telling you, I was popular with the 70 and olders. I was the man up in the Y. I'm telling you, I was the man up in the Y, man. That's my guy Steve. You see the love I'm getting from the Y? You see that?
The 70s and olders. Oh my Lord.
Look,
go ahead, Dose. You got a question?
Yeah, I got a lot, but I want to change directions before we come back to the old line. So we were talking yesterday. We were doing our town hall about. I know H-Man. He brought up offensive coordinators, getting an offensive coordinator that's been an offensive coordinator before, so you can see what he did. So I have the question because every time I'm looking for a coach candidate or when we were looking for a head coach, I'm always looking at guys that have been a head coach before and the success that they had. I like the guys with that experience. So I was wondering, looking at where you played throughout your career, it looked like there was a couple of coaches that had experience when they came in and became the new head coach where you were later in your career versus, having a guy like Wayne Fontes, defense coordinator, into the head coaching role. Did you feel a difference as a player when a head coach would take over that's already been a head coach? Were they like, more ready to go versus having a guy that's now being a first-time head coach? Is there like some things that maybe they don't understand or they're trying to learn on the job, so they're, still picking things up as they go and there's that learning curve? I just want to know if you felt a difference as a player between the two.
You can as a player. You really can. You could tell the guys that have been established in this league, guys that already have their packages down, already have their schemes down. A lot of times coaches that have already been in the league, they bring that staff with them. Who they had before, they'll bring the staff with them because they're familiar with them. Whereas a lot of times when you get a young guy, a new guy that's getting in there, he has to put his staff together, or the organization has to help him put that staff together. So you can see that continuity. You can see that chemistry, and, be there a lot better with a coach. Say, like, would be a great example. You take, like, the coaching hires that might go on this year. You take if Coach Caldwell gets the job, say he gets that Chicago job, compared to the guy that just got the job today. I'm drawing a blank right now. That just feels.
Didn't Leftwich go to Jacksonville?
No, somebody just took a job today. One of the jobs. I'm just drawing a blank on it right now.
I am too.
But he's a young guy that has to put his staff together, that's trying to put his staff together. I'm quite sure Coach Caldwell already knows the coaches that he wants to call, that he would like to bring on. And it's just the point that he's done that. He's been there. He's been through these fires. He's been through the ups and downs. So he'll be able to kind of negotiate or navigate the team through a lot of the turmoil that they're going to go through. So I think as a sense of comfort, especially being a veteran player. Now, as a young player sitting in there, it may not be as, what I'm saying, it may not matter that much to you. But as an older player, a veteran player sitting in there, that matters to you who they bring in, because your window is closing. So you have to win now more so than having more time as a young guy to try to win. So that's some of the differences that I think that they're going to have to look at. And, I just think even with the Lions, even with who they bring in here as an offensive coordinator, to me, hopefully it'll be a guy that's been established, a guy that's done that before. Because, again, I just think the offense, after having the year they had on offense, I just think it needs some tweaking. I don't think it needs a major overhaul. I just think you need to put some people and some things in place to really keep that offense going and to have it running.
Okay.
No, it makes a lot of sense, because then I'm thinking of Patricia when he, because it was like 1 year we fired a defense coordinator, he brought in a different one. He didn't really maybe know who to bring with him. That's a good answer. Red, do you have any more questions, or you want me to just kind of fly through some of these?
Yeah, I do got some questions.
Okay, you got to give them.
But if you want to fly through them, you can fly through some.
Nah, give them one, right? Give them.
I could piggyback off your questions.
Oh, okay. We gonna piggyback. Okay, Red. Okay,
yeah, we can piggyback if you want to.
Okay, let's transition back to the O-line then.
Hold on, I want to piggyback off that.
Yeah,
no, I'm playing. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So we're talking about the offensive linemen, and I love the depth. We just asked you about Matt Nelson and Evan Brown. One thing that I've been doing when I'm going through this offseason, I've been doing a lot, is drafting an offensive tackle to get behind. Well, because I like Evan Brown as a backup center. I know what I got. I like our guards. You brought up Tommy Kramer and Stenberg. I think he could be fine as long as he's healthy. But it's that tackle position to me, where we did have a lot of moving pieces. So I've been drafting a backup right tackle a lot. Do you think, one, the Lions should do that? They should look at investing in another backup right tackle. I'll start with there, and then I'll go to the second part.
Yeah,
I want to piggyback off that. Go ahead.
For me, of course, I just think edge rusher with that first pick, right, in the first round. But if your quarterback's not there that you're sold on, if it's a receiver not there that you're sold on, or if it's somebody on the defensive side of the ball at the linebacker position that you're not sold on with that second pick in the first round, yeah, I would definitely. You to me, you can never have a good enough good offensive lineman. You really can't. So to me, yeah, if I looked at these other positions I just mentioned, and there's nobody there that I just need to have, then I'm trying to get the best offense or defensive lineman that's available at that point to help kind of add depth to my team. Because again, we all see, man, that it's hard to make it through a 17-game season unhurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
it really is. So at some point, injury is always a part of this game. So you have to be addressing that, or at least have that in the back of your mind all the time. So if I could get depth at a certain position, yes, sir, especially good depth that I could get there, I'm going for that. So, yeah, I would look at it, like I say, but I would look at those other positions first before I look at the offensive lineman. But definitely, I wouldn't put that off the table.
So, especially now with the COVID stuff, right? You never know who's going to be available.
There you go. That's another variable we hadn't had to deal with in the past that we have. That's part of football now.
So you would take an offensive lineman. I mean, I know you said that those positions, the other positions wasn't there. You would really use our late first round pick on an offensive lineman, knowing he's probably not going to start. Because most of the time, first round picks are coming in to be day one starters.
Right.
You still, because I was thinking we need to get an offensive lineman mid to late, because a project player.
Right.
We have a solid offensive line.
And that's why I said if those other positions weren't available, you're right. I would, go to that point. But you're right. Even if you looked at, even if we could get a safety, another safety to pair up with Tracy Walker back there, I'm looking at those positions like that too. But again, if you got an offensive lineman that can swing, that can give you depth, and even though, like you said, even looking at a right tackle, again, you could play around with this guy, even if he's not going to start. You could put him at different positions during the preseason on the offensive line just to see where he's best at, to see where else he could play at if you need depth there. And if you look at the long run, he could be a pawn. He could be somebody that you could use as trade bait. I know they talked about that before with Taylor Decker there, maybe, trading Taylor so you can move Panay over to the right side. There you go. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. That's the same way I look when they first said it, because it doesn't make any sense to me, man. Let that young boy stay over there on the right side and learn the NFL game. You got 14, 15, maybe more years with him where you can pull him over to the left side when you need to. But if you got good tackles, you got good linemen, you don't get rid of them.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, I thought that's what helped Big V so much this year too. I love that you brought up Big V because I was so pumped for him this year that he got to play at guard all season. I felt like in the past he didn't know what spot he was. It's like I thought he was coming in as a tackle, then it was guard, and it was right tackle. Him to just sit at guard, I thought helped him so much. And Sewell, I don't know how Sewell did what he did to go to left tackle then right tackle and play so well.
Right.
Played very well. Very well.
He did. He really did. He really did, man. He really did.
We
Eberflus. Yeah, and
Chicago.
Both of those are first-time coaches right there. Yeah, whoever brought that was great. Both of those are first-time coaches. Like I say, if I'm in a room, I'm feeling better with a Coach Caldwell, knowing what's going to go on than I am with an Eberflus or with the other coach that just got this opportunity. Real
quick, because we still talking trenches, and I believe tight end is in the trenches also.
Yeah.
What's your take really on TJ Hockenson? Is he elite, or is he still on that second tier?
Right now, I think still on the second tier. He's trending towards being that way. But again, we know some of the traits of a great player, and one of the best traits you can have is your availability. You got to stay injury free. It's a hard thing. It's something that you can't control as a player. but that's part of the equation of you being a great player. You got to be there. You got to be there on Sundays right now. You got to be there on Mondays or whenever the game is. You have to be there. I think when he's there, he's such a target. He's such a target. And I think how you're going to find out if he's going to be an elite player or not tight end is these next couple of years, meaning everybody knows who he is. He's not flying under the radar anymore. Teams are game planning for him. And you see during the season when they did that, he started off well the first 3 games. I mean, catching balls everywhere. And then he went through a lull where they couldn't get the ball to him. That's because other teams started keying in on him and taking him away from the offense. But if you're a great player, and Herman told me this, whether you double teamed or not, they pay you to beat the double team. They pay you to defeat that double team. So that's when the great players come out, is when you're even being double teamed, then you still able to have an impact on the game. So that's what I'm going to be watching for these next couple of years with TJ. Even though everybody knows him and he's on their game plan of the defensive coordinators, can he still impact the games?
Okay. There it is. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it from Lomas, Brown.
There it is. Low B.
So Low B.
And we going, we going over here. So with these. So yes.
Chad, remember that low B. All right, you were close to you followed the team right all year, and do you have any insight of what went with Terrell Crosby this year? I know he got injured, but it just felt weird. It's like we played him a little bit in the preseason, and then we just kind of moved on. I didn't. It was a weird situation.
I didn't understand that, and I heard a few things about as far as his work ethic that might have come into question too. But I was shocked. When they moved on from him. I thought Terrell had done a nice job while he was here, being able to fill in and flip the both sides like he was. I thought even by him being friends with Penei Sewell and them playing at the same school, I thought the chemistry right there, he would be a good guy to back him up or to be the backup swing tackle while he was here. So I don't know exactly what happened. And to be honest with you, I know he had to have some surgery during the year. But I don't even know why another team then tried to jump on him, because at one point they were talking about trying to trade him. He had some trade value to him. So I don't know what happened, but I am hearing some things as far as his work ethic off the field and how that can affect him on the field too.
Okay, because I was wondering where he was at.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal with him?
It was weird.
Yeah.
We got a chat question here, and I wanted to get your thoughts. What's Lomas's opinion, or Low B? Chat, come on, Low B. We're sticking with it.
Low B.
On Ben Roethlisberger's career.
It's a Hall of Fame career. I mean, the guy has 2 Super Bowls. I think he's top 10 in most of the categories, the throwing, passing, touchdown categories. He's top 10 in it. He elevated Pittsburgh to another level, but since he's been there, he has to be a Hall of Fame type of guy. To me, he is. He's put up a Hall of Fame resume. I think he even put up a first ballot Hall of Fame resume to me. Tough guy. If you remember the thing about Ben Roethlisberger, the thing I always remember about him, he used to take 2 or 3 guys to try to bring him down. Big as he was, man, he would sit up in that pocket, and that big fella, he would almost dare you to try to tackle him, man. So, he typified Pittsburgh, the Steel City. He and the other thing I love is he was a MAC guy. He was a guy that wasn't in the Power 5 conference coming out of college. He was a MAC guy, and he got it done. He put together a Hall of Fame career. So I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, man. And it's great when you can get a quarterback, the stability at the quarterback position. We see what it means. I mean, he was there, he put in 17, 18 years there. I mean, that's awesome when you're able to do that and then play at a certain level.
I would agree. I got a 2-part question since we talking quarterbacks.
Oh no.
Matt Stafford. I want to know.
Okay, yeah. Let's go.
It's a two-parter.
Okay.
Matt Stafford. Are you rooting for him to win a Super Bowl this year? And if he does get a Super Bowl this year, do you believe he's a Hall of Famer? Because he got stats. Everybody know he got stats.
Right.
But go ahead.
If he gets one this year, I don't think he's a first ballot, but I do think he'll get in there. I think he will get in there if he gets someone. And the thing, if I'm rooting for that,
are you rooting? Because it hurts the Lions.
I know it's hard for me to do it because it's almost a slap in our face. You know what I'm saying? If he goes off and get one, it was like, yeah, they were right. He wasted 12 years of his career with that Detroit Lions organization that's not doing this, that, and that, man. You know, I would hate for that to be the narrative, which it will be, right. You know, if he goes off and wins one, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it tears me at, because I know it's going to tear at us. It's going to be a rip at us. Right. You know, if he goes off and gets one. So that's my only hate. That's the little hate that I got up in there. You feel that little hate that I got right there? Because I don't want us to be the laughing stock. I don't.
I can hear the change in your voice, man. I could feel the hate when you were saying that. Yeah. That's a good question, Brad. I like that.
Like we was talking quarterbacks. I'm like, well, I need to see what he feel about Matty Stafford.
That was a good one, though. Yeah, that was a good one. But but I'll say this: great guy. Did a lot for the community here. You know, just a great guy. I even told Matthew, man, I would have loved to have blocked for you. I told him that because I would have, because the guy was tough, man. You didn't have to worry about that guy leaving the game because of injuries. You know he was going to be there for you, man. So, you know, I would have loved that block for him and stuff. But, you know, just that's my only regrets right there, you know.
Right. Right. Brad, me and Brad have like a two-parter. He's going to piggyback on this one. So,
I'm going to piggyback?
You're going to piggyback on
All right, I want to piggyback off of it.
So I'll start it. As an offensive tackle, which is just in general, everybody's different, but in general, what do you think is a tougher matchup? Is a smaller, like, speed type of rusher, or like one of those big power rushers that are coming to bull rush you into the pocket?
I always thought it was the bigger guys. Matter of fact, I don't even think it's the bigger guys. I think it's the in-between guys. You know, a little guy, you already know, when I played against a smaller guy, a faster, smaller guy, I set him so he could run the corner. I didn't want him. That's all I wanted him to do was run the corner, because that's basically what they want to do and stuff. You know, so I set on him so he couldn't run the corner. You know, I wanted him to power and run into me and try to push me back because, again, I know I already had the size difference on him. With the bigger guys, I wanted them to run the corner because, one, you want them, they're slower, but you're trying to wear those guys out too. And that's what they guys don't want to do. All defensive ends, they don't want to run that hump. They get tired of running that hump. You know, because they want to beat you inside. That's the closest way. That's the fastest way to the quarterback, is beating you inside. And they know, you know, if you run that hump, all the offensive lineman has to do is just push you or stay on the inside of you, and the quarterback's going to step up and be able to get the pass off. So, you know, that's why. But those in-between guys, the guys like the Lawrence Taylors, the guys like the oh my goodness, from
hold on, Low B. Hold on now. I want to piggyback off that question before you get to throwing out names. I want to piggyback off of it. Give me a chance to piggyback. So who was the hardest defender to block against the pass? And then I want to know who was the hardest defender to block against the run.
So for me, it had to be Lawrence Taylor. Okay. Him. Pat Swilling was good too. The pre-Lions Pat Swilling. Pat was pretty good when he got here, but he was better when he was a New Orleans Saint. And then I just say Richard Dent and Chris Dolman were guys that could run you over. You know, when you talk about against the run, the guys that caused me the most problems against the run, it had to be Richard Dent and it had to be Chris Dolman. Lawrence Taylor with the pass, Derek Thomas with the pass.
I was just about to ask you about DT.
That's who I was trying to think of.
Just about to ask you.
City. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the two quickest guys I ever played against was Derek Thomas and Rufus Porter. A lot of people don't remember Rufus Porter, but he played on the Seattle Seahawks team. But Derek Thomas, first step, nobody like him. Nobody had a first step like Derek Thomas, man. I'm telling you, man, all time great.
What about Reggie White?
Reggie, thank goodness he was on the other side, so I ain't have to deal with him all the time. So he was over there over the right tackle. Thank goodness he stayed over there too, because that's where I like to see him at, over there on the other side. But, man, I'm talking about he had the combination of both. He could run you over. He could run around you. He could run through you. I mean, Reggie, you remember the hump move that he had, the famous hump move where he would take a guy and he would throw a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude had it all, man. So Reggie White, to me, probably the overall best defensive player I would think ever. I would have to put him with Lawrence Taylor. Him and Lawrence Taylor would probably be 1A, 1B.
Did you ever go against Charles Haley?
Oh, yeah, all the time, man. That was my guy, man. But to be honest with you, I ain't have a lot of problems with Charlie. Okay. Man, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that. Sometimes you match up better against players, certain players than you do. That's why they always look for those matchups. For some reason, man, the 4 or 5 times I played against Charlie, I never really had problems with him and stuff. And I'm talking about he would be coming off some of his best games. But for some reason, man, I never really had a problem with him and stuff. And you talking about a Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats. He was. It's no denying that. But I just matched up well with him.
Now, you were talking about one of the greats real quick. We can get back on to the Lions. Aaron Donald. Do you think he could ever be considered as one of the greatest defenders of all time?
I think so. I think he's trending that well. Know who he's like to me? He's a quicker, probably a quicker John Randall. That's who he reminds me of. John Randall from the Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings.
But he's a quicker one, more athletic John Randall, man. But John, like I say, Hall of Famer, awesome, intimidator. Yeah, Aaron Donald, man, because he's probably going to get Defensive Player of the Year again this year. That'll be, 3 or 4 times that he's gotten that. He's trending towards being probably one of the best players. When you talk about best defensive players to play this game, he has to be up in your top 5, top 10. He's at least trending that way. So at the end of his career, that's probably where he'll end up at.
Okay. You want to piggyback off that, Dose?
I don't really have a piggyback off that. I mean, I kind of do, but not really.
I didn't know.
I mean, I can ask him about Trey Flowers,
that was already going to get on the Trey Flowers. You can ask it.
I was going to chat question.
Go ahead, do your thizzle.
Ryan says, Lomas, what's your opinion on Swift? Him getting injured both of his first 2 years.
Yeah, man, that's a little bit of a concern, man. I'm telling you, that's the thing. Again, I said one of your best traits is your availability, your ability. You have to have the ability to be on the field, and that's one of the things that he's going to have to find a way to overcome. I just remember Barry. I think Barry only had one season where he missed, a handful of games, and that was it, over the 7 years that I blocked for him out of his 10 years. So you got to be there. You got to be available, and you got to be able to practice your skill set. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to just go into a game and not be able to practice during the week. It really is. So, hopefully he'll be able to get over kind of like these injury bugs that he's had the first couple of years.
I got you. I want to piggyback off that really quick while we're on injuries.
Go ahead.
Jeff Okuda. Do you think he's gonna be able to bounce back? Because Jeff Okuda starting to bug me a little bit now because he was picked very high, and I think I've only seen the kid play about 4 games.
Yeah. I think he could come back off this Achilles injury, but what are we going to get? That's me, because I'm with you. I don't know. We don't know what he is. We hadn't had a sample size big enough to know. I mean, he had the one bad play, and then he got hurt the next play after that, and that's what we're left with. His first year not playing a lot, even though I just think the scheme that Matt Patricia and them had him under, I just not a big fan of his scheme. But we don't know what we got. It's almost like Green Bay with Jordan Love. They don't know what they got at that quarterback position. So we don't know. We got to get more of a sampling size. Right, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that, man. I want to see what we have in Jeff Okuda, because you're right. A third pick in the draft, you got to get something out of that.
I feel you.
I'm going to go to another chat one before I go to one. He says, what was your pregame meal from Zaid?
Oatmeal,
Hibachi,
bacon,
kombucha.
Hey, see, I ain't even know nothing about eating good back in the day, man. That hibachi, man, I would have been on it if I'd have known about it, man. And I think that might be new school, man. I think that might be some 2020 stuff, man.
Lomas, so do you think is this the NFC North opening up? Is that what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
Are we a step ahead of everybody right now?
We're the most stable organization right now in the NFC North. Think about it. Right now, if you look at because Green Bay don't know what Rodgers is going to do. Right. And like I say, if he leaves, man, they're starting over. You got a young quarterback in Justin Fields in Chicago. They basically starting over. I think Kirk Cousins, I don't know if he's going to be there next year in Minnesota. So right now, if you look at it, man, we probably have the most stable organization, at least knowing where we're trying to go right now out of all the other teams in the NFC North.
I like it, man. I think it's opening up a little bit. I think it might have just done it at the perfect time. I feel like we're a step ahead of everybody else. They're going to be following
Absolutely.
Us. All right, we'll go to another chat one here. We got Michael who says low B. Oh, we put the W in there. We see. Who are we taking with the first pick of the draft? I don't know how much you follow the draft, but just
you follow Thibodeau. I want Thibodeau.
Okay.
I want Thibodeau.
Over Aiden?
The only reason I'm saying that he's more of a fast twitch guy, meaning, and I know more of a fast twitch guy coming off that corner, it gives offensive linemen more problems. You want to turn your shoulders more because you're scared of being beat around the corner, and that opens up other things for the defensive lineman to do to you if you're an offensive lineman. The thing I love about Aiden Hutchinson, though, man, the dude seemed like he's like like a Max Crosby kind of mold. The dude's going to hustle all game long. That's the one thing he's going to be relentless, all game long. And he seemed like he's pretty strong at the point of attack and stuff. But I just think, now if we need to sell some tickets too, now if I'm throwing ticket sales on top of that, I'm going with Aiden Hutchinson too. Now, if I'm looking at off the field along with on the field, I got to look at Aiden Hutchinson. But if I'm just looking at straight on the field, I think I might I want to go with Thibodeau. Just because of the little fast twitch muscles that he has and his ability probably to get around the corner a little bit more fluidly than Aiden Hutchinson.
Hey, you always got to look at ticket sales, man.
I'm looking at that, man. Aiden all day long. If I could get some of that Ann Arbor crowd to come to downtown Detroit, yeah.
Kayvon does feel like he would fit what we did last year. Like I know, like all the speedy, like that they used the relative athletic score, and everybody was like way faster than what we were getting with Patricia. Kayvon feels like he'd fit that more. Brad, you got another one?
Yeah. I mean, I want to know what's the biggest need in the offseason.
Wow. To me,
like what do we should go out and try to get in free? Let's hit free agency.
So
that's going to tell us with the draft.
So let me say this first. First of all, we got to get the guys back. So Jalen Reeves-Maven. I think Tracy.
We need Tracy. We got to get him.
We got to keep those guys. We can't lose critical guys. So if you asking me after we keep those guys that we need to keep, I think
free agency.
Free agency. That's a great one. I might have to look at oh my goodness, that's a good. I don't know if I want to go receiver as much as I want to go linebacker. You know, I'm torn between those two. You know what I'm saying? I'm just torn between the linebacker or a receiver that could come in here. And, you know, even though I like what Josh Reynolds did for us, I love what the young fella St. Brown did. I think Quintez Cephas, I think if he gets healthy,
He's
I think
nice.
he'll do good. Yep, I think
nice.
he'll do good for us and stuff. You know, so if I could get like, you know, a good receiver, it's either receiver or linebacker that I'm looking at. Those are the two positions that I'm looking at during the off season.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I think we could Fadango.
What you think?
If we keep Aaron Glenn, me and Dose has been talking about this. I think we can Fadango Marcus Williams down there in New Orleans at safety. Oh, there it is. Pair him up with Tracy Walker.
Yes.
Because we was watching some film yesterday on Marcus Williams, me and Dose, and he sets the tone.
Yes.
He's a tone setter, and I think we need a tone setter back there in the back end because Tracy Walker has stepped up as that quarterback in the back end, getting everybody lined up. He knows the scheme. And Marcus Williams pretty much knows the scheme because he's already been with Aaron Glenn. So that's what I want to Fadango, and I think we could pull it off, is bringing in Marcus Williams to pair him up with Tracy Walker. I don't think we need to go get a big-name receiver. I would like to retain Josh Reynolds and then draft a receiver within the first 2 rounds, depending on looking at the board.
Yeah.
That's how I want to attack it. I want to get a trend. I want somebody back there that's going to set the tone.
Yeah.
And he sets the tone.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I don't think
you
we go
piggyback?
super high linebacker. I'll piggyback off it, man. Hey, I'm not saying we don't need linebacker help. I just feel like they're gonna wait. I just have that feeling with Holmes that that's the spot he's gonna wait on, is the inside linebacker spot, and he's gonna fill up, I think, on trenches a little bit earlier than we think again. That's kind of my feeling with it.
Yeah.
Now this is a good one from DET Fan Man. He says Lomas heading down to the Senior Bowl. Sorry if I'm late. Was already covered. If so, is he excited to chat with anyone in particular?
You know, I'm not heading down there. I know a lot of them are down there, so I'm not heading down there. I always like to, you know, see who's the big name, who's having good practices down there out of all the positions. You know, listen to these some of these people on TV talk about who's having a good week of practice down there. So no, I won't be heading down there, but I'm excited, and I like a lot of things what you guys are saying too. I'm excited for the Lions to look at, you know, if that's the direction they're going to look at, to see who's out there. Even if you're looking at some depth in positions, you know, to get laid on down in the draft. I mean, again, I think you could add more depth at the tight end position. Even though I like Brock Wright, I still think you could probably add somebody else over there.
I've been preaching that, but go ahead. Go ahead. They need to let me just call a couple shots, and I can have us in the right direction. I'm telling you. Let me and Dose call a couple shots, bro. Make a couple moves here and there. Hey, we'll be playoff bound.
No, so wait a minute. If Aaron Glenn is
real talk, I'm not playing now. I'm not playing. And Low B, you need to cancel NFL Network and ESPN. You need to be tapped in the Last Second Dose when we dropping the reel.
I like that.
Real talk. Go ahead, Dose. My bad, man. I don't care what NFL Network say. I don't care about none of them. I see the game with my 2 eyes.
Low B, so if we are going to hire a new offensive coordinator, would you be open for the job?
Oh,
me? No, man. I'm sticking with the I'll go. I can help Hank Fraley out with the big fellas in the trenches. I can do that, man. I can handle that part right there. But man, that OC, man, that's tough, man. That's a lot on your plate, man. Not only you got to satisfy everybody, you know, you got to satisfy these egos. You got to have plays for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to please everybody. You already know that. You already know you're not going to please everybody and stuff. So, yeah, I'll stick with the big fellas, the guys that put their hand in the dirt.
This had to come up at some point. The Fresh Panda says, Low B, how you feel about drafting a quarterback despite Jared's performance in the second half of the season? I mean, it was going to come up at some point. I want to hear your thoughts on Goff on this past year.
Yeah, because I want to know about Goffle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, at first, I was shaky at first. I really was, especially first half of the season. Then he got a little hurt and banged up, and I know that kind of slowed his progression up a little bit. But I was pleasantly surprised over the last half of the season. I really was. I thought he played well, especially the last like 5 games of the season. I thought he commanded the huddle. I thought he felt comfortable back there, which, I couldn't always say that. And the biggest thing, I thought he played confident. I thought when he was throwing the ball, he was confident in where he was throwing it at. He made his decisions a lot faster over the last 5-6 games of the season. And he dropped some dimes in there. He put some balls in there. So I was real impressed with him. And the thing about him, he's still young. I think he's 26, 27 years old. He's still a young quarterback in this league. So, I like what Jared did like I say, I wasn't sold at first. I really wasn't. But what he did over the last half of this season, he really opened my eyes to the possibilities of what they can do. So to me, you could bring a young guy in here despite having Jared beat here. You can bring a young guy in here who can sit behind Jared. He can learn from Jared. He really can. Jared may not have the credentials of some of the other guys in this league has, but he has a resume. He's been to an NFC championship game. He's been to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So he has some credentials behind himself. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind them drafting the quarterback to put behind him and let him watch.
I'm glad you said that. My bad, Rand, because I saw that too. I don't know. It just seemed like he was throwing some passes before he was even seeing him come out of breaks, and I didn't see that in the first half.
Yes.
That's what I was picking up on. Some of those throws that he was throwing to Saint right over the middle. I was
he's not even passing the defender yet.
Look.
He did.
Jared Goff did improve towards the end of the season. Now, Lobe, I heard you say he was throwing dimes. He wasn't throwing dimes. He was throwing accurate ducks. That's what he was doing. Don't say dimes. Stafford throws dimes. Goff throws accurate ducks.
Man, okay, all right. So you're a Stafford guy, huh?
Oh, I'm a Stafford guy through and through. But Goff was our quarterback, but he don't throw dimes.
So he got to prove it now. He still got 2 more games. 2 more pressure pack games. You know what I'm saying? He got to come through on them and stuff. So I've been and I'm telling you, one of the hardest games is that NFC championship game. The Super Bowl is not as hard as that championship game, trying to get to the Super Bowl. So to me, this is the most, even more so than the Super Bowl, I think the most pressure-packed game is going to be this NFC championship game, because if you win it, you're in the Super Bowl. If you don't win it, you fail to get there. You didn't reach your goals and stuff. So to me, I want to see how he come out of this one right here, Ryan. I just want to see this one right here. See if he could come through. See if those pipes are gonna last, or if that pressure gonna bust them pipes. I want to know.
It's gonna be a tough one. He 0-2 versus the Niners this year, so we're gonna see.
But my advantage, I think the advantage he has is because he's 0-2. It's hard to be a team 3 times in a year. I actually think he's going to win this game, to be honest with you. I think he's going to get to his first Super Bowl, because I just don't see San Fran beating them 3 times in a year. Unless they just turn the ball over to San Fran. I just don't see them being beat again by San Francisco, not this year.
Red, I got a good one. Do you got one?
Go ahead, Brody. Go ahead. All right. I'll piggyback off of it.
So since I've drafted all these tackles, what should you? I got one more. What should you look for in these offensive tackles? What would be the thing that you would say, hey, look out for this?
So to me, you always got to look at his knee bend. How well these guys bend in the hips and the knees. Because, again, that's all about leverage at the offensive line position. So you got to be able to get up under those guys. So you got to be able to drop your hips. And the dropping your hips, you got to be able to bend your knees. So always look for that when I'm watching the guy play. The other thing is, like I was telling you about Penei Sewell, a guy being able to get out in space and cover up on often on linebackers and cover up on defensive backs, because a lot of times now they run these quick screens or they run these wide receiver screens, and you like to have linemen out in front of those guys blocking. And then the other thing is just the attitude of the guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the hardest things to kind of put your thumb on, is the attitude of the guy. Like we talked about, within him, how these guys play. How can these guys, when they're angry, can they bring it back down? Because you have to play the offensive line with controlled aggression. You can't be out there aggressively just going crazy. You got to be under control, but you have to be aggressive. So can those guys play in those situations like those? So those be the things that I be looking at in the offensive lineman. And like I say, knowing his attitude, that's going to be the hardest thing that you'll be able to find, be able to pinpoint. But again, knee bend, you know what I'm saying, and how athletic, how these guys can get out in space, keep their feet, and cover up on guys.
Okay, I got my notes, man. I'm ready. Hey, I'm ready to get back to this mock draft stuff now.
Oh, Lord.
Make sure I didn't miss anything. Right? You got anything else?
Let's see what the chat got pumping. They was pumping over there. Shout out to the chat.
They are pumping, man. They're hyped to have you on here. Low B, man, thank you for coming on, man. This was awesome.
Oh, yeah. No problem, man. No problem at all.
I mean, I do got a question. I want to know.
Let them know.
I like how you break that down, too. Like, I want to know.
I do. First off, I want to, shout out to Herman Moore. Who is the best Lions receiver you played with?
So I'm going to break this down.
Brett Perriman, Johnny Morton, Herman Moore.
Oh, it was Herm. It was Herm hands down. But let's throw it this way. Best wide receiver in Lions organization history. So we already know we got Calvin, right? But I'm going to tell you, best route runner out of those two, Herman. Route runner, Herm. Hands out of those two, I'll take Herm. Everything else, I'm taking Megatron. But route running and hands, I'm telling you, man, nobody caught the ball better than Herman. And to me, nobody stuck their foot in the ground and came out of routes, in and out of routes, better than Herman Moore. And like I said, I'm comparing him with a Hall of Fame. And I love Calvin. He already knows I love him. That's my guy. Love him to death. But I'm just telling you, for the hands and route running, I'll take Herm.
I feel you. I remember 84.
I gotta throw this in here because I asked you about the offensive line look score. He says, "What's the biggest no from an offensive line? What's the red flag? You got a red flag?"
Oh wow! You know what? The biggest red flag for me is a guy that doesn't move his feet. So meaning these guys, you'll watch offensive linemen, they'll try to what? They'll try to muscle guys. They try to out-strengthen guys by using their top half and out-strengthen the guys. You can't do that in the NFL. You may be able to get away with that in high school and college, but when you get into the NFL and this grown men, everybody's a grown man out there, you're not getting away with out-muscling a guy. So you have to be able to move your feet. It's almost like being a dancer. Offensive lineman, it's almost like being a dancer. To me, when I used to set on the guy, as soon as I got my hands on the guy, then to me, I'm using my feet. I'm dancing. I'm mirroring this guy because that's what it's about, keeping your body in between his body and the quarterback or whoever you're trying to protect. And that's what you have to do. And a lot of time, these linemen, they get there and they just try to use the top part of them, their strength, and try to hold these guys off, and you can't do it. That's why when you see guys get outside their bodies, they always getting these holding calls. That's because their feet got lazy, and they then use their feet to stay or to maintain their position on that guy. So to me, that's the thing. If a guy got lazy feet as an offensive lineman, I don't want him. And lazy feet, you can see a guy with lazy feet on run blocking, and you can see a guy with lazy feet on pass blocking.
Dang, that's good stuff.
That's beautiful. I love it.
That's good stuff.
So me and Dose was watching some film on Aiden Hutchinson. Do you know I can't think of his name. Do you remember the left tackle for Michigan State?
I don't.
I just want to know if you know anything about the left tackle for Michigan State. If not, it's cool.
No, he ran through him. Or you just saying
he kind of did his thing?
I want to know.
Against
Aiden?
Yeah, he kind of did his thing.
Clapping before you.
Every time he came out he went into his kick slide, he would clap his hands. Every time we noticed it, like on film, he would clap his ball snaps. He claps his hands, and I thought it was because he wants to keep his hands in tight. So when he shoots them, he hitting them in his chest plate.
Yeah.
But every play, he clapped his hands. The ball snapped, he clapped his hands.
That's
every
smart.
play,
I like
and
that.
he was getting fit on Aiden Hutchinson, and I was like, man, who's this dude? I can't remember his name. I just want to know if you knew anything about the kid because we got to go watch some film on him.
No,
he did it every time. Boom.
That's smart to keep your hands. That will keep your hands inside. That's smart.
He got fit. He was getting fit, so I just wanted to know if you knew. But
yeah,
that was a random last second question.
No, that was smart. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the big fella now, man. I'm gonna have to check him out.
We gonna check him out because look,
that's a good question, right? That did stick out. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Shout out to the chat. Just have to say when Lomas left Lions, my heart broke. He was and is a Lions forever.
That's right. Honolulu silver and blue, baby, all the way through and through.
Heard that.
I'm sure I don't miss any.
I missed that by 1 year. Did you ever see Billy Sims? I missed him by 1 year. He got hurt in '84, and they drafted me in '85. Or I'd have blocked for both 20s. I'd have been able to block for him and Barry. Now, you talking about something to put on your resume? Mm-hmm. If I had been able to block for Billy Sims and Barry Sanders, come on, man. Come on. Missed about 1 year, man. 1 year.
All right, last one. I don't want to keep you too long, and we'll have to have you back very soon.
He coming back for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Is there, because everybody's been kind of going back and forth between safety and the two pass rushers. Is the value of two pass rushers too high to take a safety at the second pick in the draft?
I just think for us, and I'm looking at just the Detroit Lions, I just think for us, yes. Okay. We need that edge rusher. We need a guy that if I'm an opposing offensive coordinator, I'm telling my left tackle or I'm telling my left guard, I need you to slide to the left to help my left tackle out, to be his inside presence, because we got to go against Thibodeau. We got to go against Aiden Hutchinson. Or, this week, guys, I'm going to have to leave the tight end in on certain pass protections so we can make sure we got the pass protection secure. Or my running back, I need you to chip the defensive end before you go out in your pass pattern, or before you do whatever you do. I need you to chip this guy. We need a guy like that that's going to make an offensive coordinator make those type of adjustments. Mm-hmm. And right now we don't have them. We got some nice pieces. You got Romeo, you got Julian, you got Charles Harris. You got pieces there, but you don't have anybody that strike fear right now. And I think if you get an opportunity to get a guy like a Hutchinson or like a Thibodeau that can strike fear, that'll make these guys have to game plan towards sliding your line towards them, then I think that's going to make us not only a better defense, but I just think it puts a lot more on opposing offensive coordinators' plates that they have to prepare for when you got a guy like that. So, man, I would take the end before I take the safety.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, answer, man. I got one more question. This Dose wanted to ask this. He's kind of scared to ask it because he wants to know this. Dose wants to know this.
I don't know what this is. All right.
He wants to know this. So, Jamar Jefferson, running back, our 7th round pick.
Ooh, okay.
Love him.
Okay.
Yeah,
now hold up. Hold the press. Can you answer why was he getting out-snapped by Godwin Igwebuike? I don't even know if I said this. So what was the issue there? Like,
you know what? The only thing, there's two things that I could think of. Because I'm telling you, I am a Jamar Jefferson fan. He loves that. Ask anybody during training camp who I was bragging the most on. It was him and Quintez Cephas, because I thought Cephas was going to have a big year. So, but Jamar Jefferson, he was the one guy that I kept talking about, like, man, this guy flashes. Every time he gets the ball, he's doing something. So it's got to be one or two things. Either one, like his pass protection. He can't pass protect, or he was having problems with pass protection. Because, again, you ain't going to get your quarterback killed. And it's important for those guys to be able to pass protect at their running back position. Or, number two, he couldn't pick up the plays. You know, because to me, the talent is there. He can run the ball. So it's got to be something that's not correlated with the field or with his talent ability. So it's got either he had to have problems with the playbook, or, like I say, his pass protection right now is not where Godwin was, or, you know, the other guy's pass protection is. Those are the only two things. Because to me, bro, I love him. I love Jameer Jefferson.
Okay,
There
it is. There it is, though. So, I mean, you've been wanting to know.
I have. That's a good point. The pass protection is a good point, because I know that
and not knowing plays. Like, if you don't know the plays, you can't put you on the field.
That's a problem.
It goes underlining, but that'd be a big reason why a lot of guys can't play in the NFL, man. You got to have the total package to play in the NFL. You got to be able to do it on the field and off the field. And if y'all guys think about it, we practice. Think about it. We on the field maybe 2.5 hours a day. Other than that, you in the classroom learning your plays and going over schemes. And if that's one of your deficiencies, it's going to be hard to be on that field on Sundays.
Okay. I do. I got a lot of look. I just want to hear it. Now this is a question. You know, it's in the past, old regime. Jelani Tavai. I'm sorry, I don't even like bringing his name up on the channel, but what was your thoughts on Jelani Tavai? I'm sorry.
Man, I love Jelani, man.
All right, we're done. We're done.
I thought he had the ideal size to be a linebacker. I thought more what hurt him more than anything else was being in that scheme, being with Patricia and them. You know, the scheme that they had of all they wanted him to do was come downhill. That's what they look for. That's that Patriot defense. They want their linebackers going downhill. Well, we know nowadays the game is linebackers got to be able to drop in coverage and cover guys. You can't just be going downhill and think you're going to be successful as a linebacker in the NFL today. So that's, to me, again, they brought him in for a scheme. Meaning just to go down, we want you to attack the guards or attack the tackles and stuff. So, and to me, you know, it just didn't fit here. It just didn't fit here. And it doesn't fit. I don't think that type of linebacker is going to fit in the NFL anymore. You see how the Patriots got ran through? Who ran through them? Was it Buffalo that ran through them in the playoffs? So whoever they lost to, they got beat down. And that's because of some of that scheme. They're going to have to rethink some of the schemes that they run as a defense over there with the Patriots, because that downhill, your linebacker attacking, I don't think that's going to be sustainable in the NFL.
See, I thought that's what I was thinking about Jelani. I thought that screwed him up when because remember he got bulked up.
Yeah,
trying to play him on the edge, and they trying to put it back inside. I thought that messed him up big time. It was like just leave him on the inside because he had a good rookie year.
Yes.
So, I'm with you. And they might have to mix it up a little bit. It's like the draft now. You can't get a big linebacker. Everybody's 225 pounds.
Exactly. You got to be versatile as well. They want guys that'll be on the field for 4 plays. You just can't have no two linebackers. You know, you're looking at Parsons, who I wanted him, man, bad last year. Me too. I got footage saying that's the guy that I wanted. When Penei Sewell fell to us, I was good with that. I was good with Sewell once he fell to us. But my whole thing was get Micah Parsons, man, because the dude, man, he's a beast.
He is. But I feel like we got a Micah Parsons in the organization, Derek Barnes. I just don't feel like we're using Derek Barnes right.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be coming downhill, blitzing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Coming off the edge, things like that. That's just what I see, because I watched a lot of film on the kid and I know what he's good at doing.
Yeah.
Dose, you got another question? Because I can keep rapid firing questions.
I'm good. I'm good, Brad. If you got something, go ahead, but I'm good, man.
No. I want to let him go get his kibache. You know, we've had him over an hour. I know he needs his
kibache. I'm gonna make
kibache.
sure next time I'm on air with you, I'm gonna make sure I got a bottle of it right there. Next time I'm on air with you.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Low B, man, we appreciate you coming on. It's
Really
good to talk to you again. I got that signed picture back here. So
absolutely, man. Yeah, that was good. Man, doesn't it seem like it went fast?
Crazy.
Remember we was in Green Bay together, and it seemed like the year just zipped past and everything.
Way too fast. That didn't feel like 17 games. They have an extra game. It was
You're right. You're right.
Man, well, we'll have to get you back on. Thank you for coming on, man. I think the chat loved it as well. Brad, you got any final things you want to add?
I mean, I loved it, man. I mean, I'll give some words of wisdom before we on our way out.
Okay. Low B, you got anything to say to the Lions fans?
Yeah, before I give my words.
Hang in there, man. Hang in there, man. Lion fans, man, we're tough. We're resilient. We're blue collar, man. When the tough get going, we get going. You know what I'm saying? That's a true Lion fan. So we've been through our tough years. I think we're on the come up. I think we're on the come up with this staff and with what they put in place. I think we're on the come up. So hang in there, Lion fans.
There it is.
I like it.
No, Red.
I like it.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Are we gonna put that on Low B or you want to get it?
Let Low B have it. He the guest.
He's the guest.
We ended with words of wisdom here. Give us some words of wisdom, and then we out. Go.
Put you on the spot. You got.
That's on you, Low B.
I got the words of wisdom.
Yeah, you got it.
I can't do it either.
But I'm gonna go back to let me see. Well, I'm gonna go back to one of my old coaches. What he used to say: you got to study your past so you don't fail to repeat the failures of them. Okay, something like that. But you kind of get the drift. You
100%.
have to know what happened in the past so you can have a successful future. Put it that way. I'll put it that way.
I love it. I love it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.